Hello everyone, this is Mr. Brain Junkie here, and today we'll be talking about a science fiction film called Jurassic Revival. Be ready for some spoilers ahead. Sometimes in the near past, an asteroid crash-landed onto the Earth while mutating the life forms nearby and revealing prehistoric animals that were thought to be extinct. The humans eventually decided to explore the island so they can study the primitive creatures, and their leading scientist, Dr. Zhao, obtained a massive egg that belongs to the ancient animals. What they don't realize is that this has brought enormous danger towards their camp, as one of the scouts realizes that his friend is climbing towards him with blood all over the body. The soldier tries to call the radio for help, but is quickly devoured by a monster from above. This quickly alerts all the others in the camp, causing them to rush out immediately as they shoot continuously at the giant creature. However, the bullets don't seem to be very effective against the dinosaur, only managing to anger it even more as it roars furiously at the humans. The giant monster begins attacking the soldiers as it knocks down the buildings and crushing the people like nothing but insects. The T-Rex charges towards the humans and throwing the soldiers away like ragdolls, while causing Dr. Zhao to run into the building to hide for his life. Before the man can escape from danger, the monster crashes into the window as it tries to tear the doctor into pieces. Luckily, the soldiers are able to throw bombs at the animal and causing huge explosions in the process, while giving the scientist a chance to take the egg and run away from the area. The dinosaur continues crushing the humans like mosquitoes, but accidentally ignites the oil containers and blowing everything into pieces. Surprisingly, the doctor notices that the giant creature is still alive, which forces the man to run for his life. Zhao eventually makes it into a grass field as the dinosaur chases closely behind and causing the man to fall down like a damsel in distress. The monster approaches the humans slowly to finish the kill as it attacks the man by using its enormous jaws. 20 years later, a scientist called Shirley is apparently looking for the island as well. When she goes to work the next day, she quickly realizes that something is wrong as she enters into the office. A Japanese woman named Yuki appears behind her, and she eventually meets a businessman called Mr. Du. He knows that Shirley is the daughter of Dr. Zhao who disappeared on the Jurassic Island, and he wants her to locate the place immediately with the photos that they have. However, after looking at the pictures, the woman claims that the leads are useless and tells the man to leave right away. When Shirley goes home later that night, she immediately begins using the new information that she learned and is quickly able to calculate the exact location of the Jurassic Island. She leaves the house right away to look for her father, but the woman is quickly surrounded by a bunch of men who all turns out to be working for Mr. Du. A mysterious man walks out from the shadows and takes the main character's bag immediately, while Mr. Du gets out from his car and accuses the doctor of lying to him. The businessman offers to help the main character find her father if she agrees to help him locate the island and eventually retrieve the meteorite as well. The woman has no choice but to agree to the man's deal, but they have to follow her instructions no matter what happens. The people quickly get on the airplane as they fly towards the island, and Mr. Du introduces her to Nick, who's the explosive expert, and Sanji, who's the man in charge of their safety. Very soon, the team arrives onto the edges of the island, and they quickly jump out from the airplane as they use the parachutes to break the fall. The people eventually regroups together as they begin heading towards the center of the mysterious forest. The humans quickly enter into the jungle, but the people soon notice animals that have obviously mutated into something else. They continue marching forwards, not realizing that danger is already here as a suspicious fly charges into a soldier's mouth. The man appears to be fine for now, but Shirley quickly notices more of the insects and recognizes that they're supposed to be extinct. She rushes back towards the others immediately, while the infected soldier begins shaking violently on the floor. The doctor runs over to the victim and tries desperately to save the man's life, eventually managing to make make the soldiers spit out the bug, which has grown tremendously in a matter of minutes. The people are stunned in fear, but Yuki fires at the creature immediately, while Mr. Do tells everyone to stop wasting his time. The people continue to venture deeper into the forest, and very soon they run into a crossroad where they have to decide on which way to go. Sanji decides to lead a team of his men so they can explore the roads ahead for any dangers while the others wait for their return. The people carefully venture into the area while pointing their gun, and suddenly they're attacked by a creature with a massive tail. The soldiers try to fall back right away, but continues to get ambushed by the monster and giving them no other choice but to run back towards the others. Sanji eventually makes it to his teammates and telling them to run, causing the entire group to begin rushing the other way as well. The people are quickly able to make it out from the forest as they enter into a clearing, and they all wait nervously as the giant monster is crawling behind the trees. The creature eventually appears as it towers over all the humans and stunning the people in absolute fear as they see the serpent's giant body. The animal roars furiously at the soldiers while Nick begins taking out his dynamite and tries to throw it at the massive creature. However, the man is cursed by his butter fingers as he drops the explosive right behind himself and causing the monster to launch in. Sanji sees this and grabs onto the dynamite while tossing it towards the enemy and causing a huge explosion on the serpent's face. This angers the animal even more while the soldiers begin shooting at the giant creature altogether, but the bullets are not very effective at all. The creature throws the humans around like ragdolls and knocking them towards the ground while eventually cornering Sanji as a result. Luckily, the man is able to dodge the killing blow but is quickly thrown across the field. The other soldiers try to fight back but are immediately turned into human buffets as the monster swallows the people into its jaws. The soldiers continue shooting at the giant snake, but Sanji quickly realizes that they're running out of ammo. Things become even worse when Shirley feels vibrations coming her way, and the people soon realize that a second monster in the form of a giant T-Rex is charging towards them. The people watch hopelessly as the monsters roar furiously towards each other, and the humans are shocked to see that the creatures are beginning to fight. The dinosaur is quickly able to gain the advantage and tears the giant snake into pieces as it roars continuously at the remaining survivors. Yuki sees this and grabs onto a large rifle before shooting a tranquilizer directly at the giant monster. However, the attack is not very effective as the T-Rex continues approaching the humans, which forces the people to retreat immediately away from the area. The survivors run desperately for their lives as the giant monster chases them closely behind, giving them no other choice but to rush back into the forest. The people eventually make it into a large cave while the creature is too massive to fit inside, which allows the humans to quickly escape from the other exit. When all the survivors finally make it out from the cave, Shirley goes towards Mr. Do and demands that they leave this island right away, but the man refuses to give up the mission. Their arguments are quickly interrupted by Yuki, who threatens the main character at gunpoint. Sanji sees this and tells the people to stop, as he promises to find the asteroid without any more casualties, while telling Shirley to stay close to him if she wants to live. The next morning, the people have successfully made it to the buildings on this island from 20 years ago, but quickly sees that there's nothing left but debris and destruction. A soldier is able to find a bunch of eggs inside the leftover structures, but instead of telling everyone else, he decided to take the items all by himself. The humans eventually venture into an area that's filled by tall grasses, but what they don't realize is that danger is already closing in. The people are forced into a single line by the narrow landscapes, and very soon the humans are attacked viciously by raptors from inside the grass. Sanji tells the people to run immediately while all the soldiers begin rushing the other way, but they quickly realize that they're completely surrounded by the creatures. The animals continue circling the humans and eventually jumps out to attack the soldiers while ripping them into pieces. Shirley tries to run the other way, but is quickly stopped by another raptor that blocks their escape. Sanji sees this and rushes in to help, but is knocked away and pinned onto the ground. A soldier runs in and tries to rescue his captain by attacking the animal with everything that he has, but is quickly overpowered and ripped open by the raptor. Sanji takes the chance and tackles the creature towards the ground, but the animal is able to recover without a single scratch. Luckily, Nick is able to throw his dynamite towards the raptor, which blows the monster into a million pieces. At the same time, Yuki is being chased by the other dinosaur as well, who eventually knocks her onto the ground. Before the woman can be killed by the vicious animal, she's rescued by Mr. Do, who manages to take down the creature by using his rifle. The people quickly regroup as they're able to escape from the grasslands and eventually arriving into a clearing that's filled by even more dinosaurs. Very soon, the group notices a giant T-Rex charging their way and forcing them to hide immediately as they see the other dinosaurs being chased away by the massive creature. The team is eventually able to take a break after realizing that the enormous animals are gone, but Sanji feels terrible for not being able to save any of his friends. However, Mr. Do doesn't seem to care about the casualties as he demands that they continue to look for the asteroid no matter the cost. Sanji is greatly angered by the man's apathy, but before their arguments continue, the people begin to hear a terrifying roar that came from the T-Rex that attacked them earlier. This causes the humans to shoot furiously at the giant creature as they try desperately to escape, but the animal quickly notices that the main character is running away. The dinosaur charges towards them in fury while Sanji tries to hold the animal back, but they're quickly forced into a corner with nowhere to run. Suddenly, the fight is interrupted by something else that's rushing their way and distracting the enormous T-Rex in the process. The people are stunned in disbelief as they see what appears to be a man riding on top of a massive dinosaur. The two giant creatures eventually crash into each other while the smaller T-Rex is knocked away across the field and forced to retreat. The man jumps down from the giant creature and thanks the animal for the help before telling the dinosaur to leave the area. He runs towards the other humans while acting like a madman as he expresses overwhelming happiness after finally being able to see another person. Before their conversation continues, they're quickly interrupted by another roar as the Crimson T-Rex begins attacking the other dinosaur once again. The animal manages to bite through the larger opponent and causing it to scream in pain, but the battle quickly turns as the bigger T-Rex throws the enemy onto the ground. The creature roars furiously at the Crimson Dinosaur before charging over and breaking the opponent's neck as it finally finishes the fight. The black T-Rex eventually falls down from being exhausted while the old man rushes towards the animal right away and trying to see if his friend is injured. However, the creature is immediately startled by the other people's presence while the old man tries to calm the animal down by assuring the T-Rex that these are friends. Shirley watches the stranger intriguingly while he tries to tame the animal and quickly realizes how much the old man resembles her father, who used to do the same thing when she was young. The stranger is eventually able to calm down his friend while thanking the animal for its help and causing it to leave in peace. When everything has settled down, Shirley reveals to the old man that he's the father she's been looking for this whole time, and they're finally able to embrace each other once again. Dr. Zhao explains to his daughter about what happened that night, as the man was never killed by the T-Rex that was hunting him down. The dinosaur eventually died because of the previous wounds right before the doctor's egg was able to hatch, and causing the baby T-Rex to mistaken the man as the mother instead. Dr. Zhao was able to survive all these years because of the giant creature who protected the man this whole time. Before their conversation continues, they're quickly interrupted by Mr. Du, who surrounds the people in hostility. He demands that Dr. Zhao reveal the location of the asteroid right away, but the old man refuses immediately as the rock's magnetism is keeping the island from falling apart. This angers the businessman even more as he threatens to kill Shirley for wasting his precious time and forcing the old man to take them towards the asteroid. The people starts heading towards the meteorite while the sun begins to set, and they eventually make it into an area that's right above the flowing lava. Dr. Zhao explains that flames are going to be launching out towards the surface for a short time before the entire place turns completely dark. Very soon, the people are finally able to find the object that they're looking for, as the giant meteorite sits right in the center of the field. Mr. Do quickly tells the soldiers to take away all the people who try to oppose him so that no one can interfere with his plan. The businessman tells Nick to set up the explosives immediately so they can finally take the asteroid home and become rich beyond their imaginations. What they don't realize is that the raptors they fought previously have managed to recover, and the creatures are heading directly towards the humans to get back the stolen eggs. At the same time, Sanji begins using his knife to try and cut loose the ropes, but they quickly see the vicious dinosaurs that are here to kill the thieves. Before the creatures can strike the people, a massive explosion distracts the animals from the attack as the bombs have failed to blow open the giant rock. This forces Nick to use even more dynamites, but before the man can set up the bombs, the dinosaurs charge at the soldiers immediately. The raptors grab onto the humans and throwing them away, before knocking them onto the ground and shredding them into pieces. The people try to fight back, but only gets knocked away like insects as they're quickly killed one by one. This forces the remaining survivors to all group together as they're completely surrounded by the angry dinosaurs. The raptors roar furiously at the people, while the humans try desperately to hold back the creatures, but they quickly realize that something is wrong as the monsters are not attacking. What's even more surprising is that the animals seem to be extremely intelligent as they knock away the gun on the floor while waiting for the perfect chance to attack. Nick realizes that the enemies must be waiting for the flames to go out, causing Yuki to take out the flares immediately. At the same time, Sanji manages to break free as he quickly unties the others as well and gets ready to escape. However, Dr. Zhao tells the people that they're all going to die if the asteroid is destroyed, which is going to cause the entire island to collapse. Before they can decide on what to do next, all the flames quickly disappear, which forces Yuki to use the flares to light up the area. The people soon realize that they are the only ones left, while the final soldier is being slowly killed by the raptors. The creature continuously bites on the man's back and is eventually able to retrieve the eggs inside the backpack while killing the soldier at the same time. Sanji sees this and takes the chance to fire at Mr. Do, but he fails to kill the man as Yuki begins retaliating as well and forcing everyone to hide behind the rocks. The woman tries to bandage the man's wounds while all the flames return at the same time, which finally allows the people to see once again. Yuki promises to make all their enemies pay as she charges out into the opening to kill the opponents. However, she's quickly ambushed by Sanji, who's able to point his gun towards the back of her head, but Yuki is able to fight back immediately as she counters the man by using her sword. The woman is eventually able to gain the advantage while disarming the opponent and shooting him right on the leg. Sanji quickly rushes back and tries to take the gun, but he's obviously no match for the enemy as he gets closer to being killed. Before Yuki can make the final blow, the woman is shot from behind by Shirley, who's able to save the man's life. Just when they think the fight is over, Mr. Do charges towards the main character and puts a knife to her throat while shouting for Nick to blow up the asteroid right away. Dr. Zhao begs the young man to stop immediately as he explains that the rock is the only thing holding this island together and they're all going to die if the asteroid is taken away. This causes Nick to change his mind as he promises to hand over the control for the bombs, but only if the businessman allows them all to leave in one piece. Mr. Do hears this and pushes the woman towards her friends while getting the switch for the explosives, but quickly realizes that the control doesn't work. The man screams at the people in anger and promises to kill them all for betraying him, but Nick is able to throw a final bomb towards the businessman that blows up right in his face. The people are able to recover from the explosion and are finally able to leave this place while saving the island from being destroyed by human greed. The team eventually makes it towards the beach as they stare peacefully into the sunset while the enormous dinosaur is watching over them as well. The people quickly begin to see an army of rescue planes heading their way, which finally allows them to go home. So what do you guys think about this movie? Let me know in the comments below. And if you like my videos, please press like and subscribe for more. I'll see you guys next time.